it! What are you doing, Percy? There's people up there.
There's no one out there. It's fine.
It's not fine. It's bad enough he drinks for free. You're not gonna shoot up the place?
Wait, what was that, Doc?
Nothing. He didn't say anything. Everything is okay.
Please, go back inside.
No, shut up. I want to hear what you said. It's bad enough what?
It's bad enough that you gotta keep talking in this movie, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, you're getting a con right off the bat.
We're gonna have fun with this thing.
Genre splicing is nothing new for the film world, but it is a little risky. Whatever initial genre you are aiming for could be ruined because of its subgenre, but also has a chance of making it better. To try to make it easier to explain and for you to understand, let's use Pokemon as an example. Consider the Pokemon itself is the film, and its typing is the film genre. Let's say you had a pure poison-type Pokemon. If it has a dark subtype, not only did you negate one of the two weaknesses poison types have, but all of dark type's weaknesses just became average damage. However, if that poison type has a fighting subtype, not only did you increase the weakness of what the dark subtype negated, but you effectively gave it another weakness poison didn't even have. In short, the poison type Pokemon, or film in this case, may be pretty good on its own, but that dark subtype, or genre, made it better, and the fighting subtype made it worse. The exact same thing can happen with actual film genres. A horror/action film can go really well, but a horror/romance film can possibly suck harder than a vacuum-sucking Kirby sucking in an F5 tornado. The reason why genre splicing can be risky is because you will need to make one of the genres the main focus. The other genre, or genres, depending on how many you actually want to cram in, have to sort of blend in properly and not overshadow what the film is supposed to be. Take Nightmare on Elm Street, for example. Even though it's not listed, you can't deny there is a hidden subgenre of comedy in it. The grand majority of the first film is f***ing terrifying, but some of Freddy's banter makes you laugh a little bit. But by the time movie 4 came out, you can tell that the series started turning into a comedy with small horror elements here and there. And for a film series that is labeled as horror and not one of them labeled as comedy, that was a step in the bad direction in my opinion. There's a long-going phrase that reads, "Never judge a book by its cover." For films, you could rephrase it as, "Never judge a film by its title." Whichever phrase you go by, it doesn't change the fact that they are intended to make you read the book or watch the film despite what the title is. Unfortunately, that's pretty much what most people did when they saw the title Cowboys and Aliens. Oh hey, look at that! I finally mentioned the title of the film I'm reviewing. Can you believe that I had to talk about Pokemon, then Nightmare on Elm Street just to get to the main course of the video? But whatever, this is a prime example of taking a risk at splicing two film genres that are completely different from one another. Westerns and sci-fi. Westerns are generally designed to be very slow, have a lot of character development, dealing with personal issues, and for the most part, being rather serious. Usually when the hero and villain are finally face to face, it's usually the most gripping part of the film because of the character's history. Sci-fi films, especially when involving aliens, have explosive action, fast-paced editing, and have very little time to develop characters, so they may get small stereotypical roles. Keep in mind, I don't mean every single movie with these genres do the exact same things. Blazing Saddles is a western, but is also freaking hilarious, and doesn't take itself seriously at all. while Alien is very slow, suspenseful, and has great character development. But either way, this film's primary genre is Western with the subgenre of sci-fi. So the film is gonna mainly feel like a Western with some sci-fi action put into the mix. When this film came out, audiences were kinda underwhelmed by it. Even the technically positive reviews have some sort of hint as to why it's not recommended to watch it, but why was it received so poorly? I mean, it probably didn't help that Deathly Hallows Part 2 and the first Captain America were in theaters at the same time, but even for the folks who did see it, why was it such a disappointment? Because they judged the film by its title. Now, it's very easy to judge things by the title, I do it all the time, but with a title like Cowboys and Aliens, people were expecting it to be a satire of Western and alien films. These are people I imagine didn't see the trailer before watching the film because it seemed pretty obvious this wasn't gonna be chock full of laughs.
I said, turn around and start walking.
But it's been over 6.5 minutes and I haven't even dug into the movie yet, so how about we do that? Directed by Jon Favreau, did he manage to combine complete opposite genres correctly, or is this film not even worth a Dolarhyde? You'll get what I mean later. Alrighty then, we start off in the desert when Nope, not gonna do it. Is this movie really serious? 29 seconds into the film and they immediately start with a jump scare? What has Hollywood become? Just this land of nothing creative anymore? Just this world of unimaginative sequences that get us in the moment, but then immediately get annoyed with? It didn't have to be this way. I don't think I can go on with this. Not after a cheap trick like that. Does this mean Cowboys and Aliens gets a 1 out? No! This movie will not be as bad as Lost World. That's for dang sure. So with that logic, I guess I'm gonna have to continue on. This is Jake Lonergan, played by Daniel Craig, and right from the get-go, there is a lot of information given to us. Jake has amnesia, he has a weird mechanical bracelet that he can't get off of him, has a very nasty looking injury, and there is a picture of a woman near him. Okay, there's your study guide. The test is tomorrow.
We're riding towards absolution. You know how far west we are?
Maybe he's a dummy.
Yeah, well, you kind of look like Harambe, so, I mean... And it's here that we all learn to never call an amnesiac Daniel Craig a dummy.
And start walking.
Dang. That's a bit overkill. Seems like you really gotta watch what you say around certain people. Hey, Barbosa!
What is it that you want?
You look like a pickled turd biscuit! Ouch! Jake's rewards for this include a horse and a dog. I guess here I can talk about the main theme. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna say a lot more than that. It's got like a country rock feel to it, which sounds pretty nice. I'm not a fan of country sounding music, but the rock included makes it cool. Kinda reminds me of the Ghost Rider theme. The theme was composed by Harry Gregson-Williams. He's also done the music for the Total Recall remake, Unstoppable, Chronicles of Narnia, and even Metal Gear Solid 4 and Ground Zeroes. This guy's got quite a composing history. Overall, the soundtrack of Cowboys and Aliens is really good. Jake arrives at a local town to try and do something about his injury.
Palms to heaven, friend.
Easy now.
All right. Turn around, nice and slow.
I've been shot.
Only two kinds of men get shot. Criminals and victims. Well, which one are you?
I don't know.
You got a name, friend?
I don't know that either.
Well, just what do you know?
English.
I like this guy. He doesn't immediately shoot him and even helps Jake out. They're just having a nice one-on-one conversation until... As you may remember from the 3-second mark of this review, this is Percy, played by Paul Dano. And I hinted that I wasn't exactly a fan of him and made him a con of the film right off the bat. Why do I think he's a con? 'Cause he just doesn't feel right for the film.
No, shut up. I want to hear what you said. It's bad enough what?
Nearly everyone, including Daniel Craig, by the way, sound exactly how you'd think someone in a Western should when they speak. Percy always speaks like he's kind of nervous and bratty at the same time.
Hey, kid, I don't want trouble. I'm just trying to...
Better pick up your glasses, Doc, before someone steps on them.
At any moment, I expect him to start crying for no reason. And the thing is, he's supposed to be threatening in this scene, but I just don't get that vibe from him. He acts more like a very young playground bully. With a gun. Oh wait, actually that's rather terrifying. He decides to pick a fight with Jake, but as you'd imagine, it doesn't go well in Percy's favor.
You too?
You want to be careful where you point that thing before you get hurt.
Listen, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because maybe you don't know who I am.
He gets caught by the sheriff of the town, and Jake is seen as a temporary hero, even to the point where he gets a drink on the house. In the meantime, we get introduced to a new character. A woman known as Ella Swenson, played by Olivia Wilde, who not only seems interested in Jake, though not in a romantic kind of way, but she seems to have a mysterious background as well.
Do I know you?
No. Where'd you get your bracelet?
There's something you know about me, lady.
You don't remember anything, do you?
Since we're starting to get into the bulk of the cast, let's take a minute or two to discuss a few others. We'll start with this guy, since I never really went into too much detail. He's a preacher, played by the voice of Mr. Krabs, Clancy Brown. He's a likable character who is a very understanding human being. As shown before, he starts resorting to violence, but could you really blame him for it? Somebody broke into his house. But unlike the Harambe crew at the start, he takes the time to actually try to talk to Jake. Even though a lot of questions the preacher asks result in an I don't know, he will always go by an innocent until proven guilty attitude. The owner of the bar that Percy was shooting at is simply named Doc, played by Sam Rockwell. Simply put, life does not deal him a good hand a whole lot. Sure, he has a wife, but he's easy to pick on and is very shy to confrontation. At first, it seems like he's gonna be a mope for the whole movie, but he actually does have an arc, and because of that, I like him, on top of being relatable. The sheriff is John Taggart, played by Keith Carradine. Without spoiling anything this soon, he's not in the movie a whole lot. But for what little we do see of him, he just fits for this role. Kinda monotonic, but in a way that works.
You shot a deputy, Percy. Federal Marshal's bringing you to Santa Fe.
Then we got Taggart's grandson, Emmett, played by Noah Ringer. He's kind of a quiet kid. His dad has been away for about a year or longer, and his mom died. Therefore, he has to stay in town with his grandpa. Emmett wants to move, but John doesn't because the mother is buried either in or very close to the town, and he doesn't want to leave her. Now, that is tragic, of course. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be, but unfortunately, it doesn't hold much weight for the film, considering we don't know what kind of people they were, and this info was kind of glanced over. He will kind of have an arc, but nothing too substantial. Here we got Nat Colorado, played by Adam Beach. He is in charge of looking after Percy to be sure nothing bad happens to him. So yeah, just to recap about Percy for a second. He acts spoiled, thinking he can do whatever he wants. Always sounds like he's about to whine or cry. And to top it all off, he pretty much has a babysitter. Why are people so afraid of this guy again?
Please! I didn't kill you.
Oh.
Colonel Dolarhyde.
Right.
You gotta believe me.
Because this is his daddy.
You only been riding for my brand for what, 2 weeks? You don't maybe know who you're dealing with, Roy.
Woodrow Dolarhyde. Is this film not even worth a Dolarhyde? Yeah, starting to get it now? But anyway, Dolarhyde is played by Harrison Ford, and he's my favorite character. Jake is a very close second, but this is the most intimidating performance by Ford I'd ever seen. Just embrace it for yourself.
Nobody calls me Colonel. And the dead are mostly dead. So you had little Mickey's picking up strays. How many did you get?
Got 24 of them, boss.
You've been drinking, ain't you? I can smell it on you.
I haven't been drinking nothing. It's them other two's been drinking.
What kind of a man goes around blowing up other people's cows and tells a bullshit story like this? You couldn't do no better.
You couldn't believe me. There's white lines. There's bright lines.
So there was this big light, and you fell in the river, and when you come back, 2 of my best hands has just disappeared. There weren't no storm. There weren't no lightning this evening. You don't respect me, do you, Roy?
Okay, so I've ever so slightly got ahead of myself. Because before we officially meet Woodrow, Jake was discovered to be a criminal. But after we get introduced to Woodrow, and Nat informs what happened to Percy, we get information on what Jake has done to be classified as such. Couldn't have been a whole lot, right?
What I'm charged with?
Arson, assault, mayhem.
Poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses!
Says you robbed the stage last month with Pat Dolan and Bull McCain. Which makes you accessory to every law they broke, too. Prostitute out of Cottonwood Grove, next county over. Name of Alice Wills. You saying I killed this woman? You tell me.
Taggart's gonna send him and Percy to Santa Fe, but not before Woodrow shows up to interrogate. Jake and Woodrow have not had the best history.
This son of a bitch stole my gold off the bullion coach. I want that man.
So another thing I will say about the movie is it's pretty good at setting up a suspenseful atmosphere. Because, I mean, the movie's obviously gonna have aliens in it, but we haven't even seen any. So they gotta be introduced somehow. And what better way to do it than with my favorite way for it to be done?
I said, shut up, boy!
What the hell is that?
And what you're about to see is a prime example as to why I like this movie a lot. The action sequences. I really like the design of the ships, the colors in this scene look great, and there isn't a whole lot of shaky cam to get you motion sick. But the aliens aren't just here to blow up the Old West. They start snatching up some townsfolk, including some important ones. And this brings up something a lot of people make fun of with this film. The character is actually trying to shoot the ships with their guns. Hey, you may make fun of them for trying, but at least Woodrow actually managed to land a shot on a ship. Unlike this guy from the start who couldn't even land a shot on Jake. Oh no, he was my favorite character. How could you awful Spurg Nuggets take him like that? Better not.
Hey, is anyone in there?
No.
Is my wife in there?
No! Is it dead?
And I will admit, there was a moment in this scene where I felt a genuine chill down my spine when I saw it in theaters.
You're telling me a bunch of demons took my wife?
I didn't say any such thing now.
Took our people?
Get hold of
You're
yourself.
gonna-
I know people who don't like this movie will be all like, how the bloody crap are you afraid of these aliens? First Duckface over here, now these? Well, I don't want to show what they actually look like yet, so I won't continue that statement. But first off, I want to say, I was 10 when I saw JP3, and I was afraid of a lot of things. This one just charging out of the jungle with little to no warning, yeah, that's gonna scare 10-year-old me. Deal with it! Second, if there was a duck that literally looked like this, I'd still be freaking terrified. You kidding me? Third, we only see the silhouette of the alien, and this wasn't a jump scare. It was a legit feeling of unease hearing these people in the house scream followed by a blood splatter. Then just hearing the huffing and puffing of the alien, not actually seeing what it looks like yet. They spot its tracks and decide to follow them the next day. Not being his favorite option, Woodrow wants Jake to tag along since he's got the only effective weapon. Along the way it pours, to the point where they're gonna need a bit of shelter. So, I guess Team Cypher decided to kidnap Lugia again.
I don't know much about boats. I'd say that one's upside down.
We're 500 miles from any river big enough to hold it. Well, let's get inside. Get out of the rain.
I'm not going anywhere near that thing.
Suit yourself. Sleep in the rain.